How's it going, guys? So we've just finished game week 8 of the Premier League season, and it was a bit less spectacular than previous game weeks, but as you can see, there's still been some changes to the table, particularly up the top. So let's get into it. Now, before I get the ball rolling with who is flying high, I've got a bit of a football knowledge test for you. You can see here the playing career of a certain player, so the question is, who is the player? Comment below if you think you know the answer, and I'll announce the winner in next week's video. Now, for who's flying high, and this is a bit of a tough one. At the start of the game week, Liverpool were top of the table, but by Friday night, Southampton were top of the table. Then by 2 o'clock on Sunday, Spurs were top of the table. And by about 5 o'clock on Sunday, Leicester were top of the table. On top of that, Chelsea continued their strong run of form with a 4-1 win over Sheffield United. But I'm going to have to give it to the team that's currently sitting at the top, Leicester. The current league leaders were playing against Wolves this weekend, and Jamie Vardy both scored and missed a penalty in this one, but either way they had enough about them to scrape by 1-0. Now, for who dropped the ball this week, I'm going to mix it up a bit. Brighton and Burnley were playing each other in a relegation clash that both teams really needed to win. Brighton went into the game on 5 points and Burnley went in on just 1, so a win here was important for both. But instead they played out the most predictable 0-0 draw. Brighton were probably the better of the two, in fairness to them, but either way, this is an opportunity lost for both sides. Now, for the shock of the week, initially I had Man United playing Everton off the park in a 3-1 victory, which I really didn't see coming. But with the last game of the week, my opinion changed. Arsenal are featuring in the shock of the week for the second week running, but this time for being on the wrong end of the scoreline. They were absolutely trounced 3-0 at home by Aston Villa. Aston Villa in this one were actually 1-0 up within seconds thanks to a John McGinn wonder strike, but the goal was ruled out due to Ross Barkley being offside and supposedly impairing the goalkeeper's vision, thus impeding his ability to make the save. I'm not too sure how this was given, considering I'm pretty sure 2 burnt Lenos in the goal wouldn't have saved the John McGinn effort. But still, Aston Villa tasted blood and they went in for the kill after this anyway. Arsenal though made it very easy for them. This wasn't the first questionable VAR decision of the weekend either, with Paddy Bamford having a goal ruled out for his hand being offside and Harry Maguire getting karate kicked in the Everton box and not being awarded a penalty. But I'm not going to dwell on these VAR decisions too long, because if I did that every week, these videos would be about half an hour long. So if you haven't seen the incidents, make sure you go check them out for yourselves and see what you think. Now, for the star of the week, it was pretty much a toss-up between 3 players. There was Ollie Watkins, who has won this before, getting 2 goals against Arsenal. There was Hakim Ziyech, who got 2 assists in our game against Sheffield, as well as being behind basically everything good that we did in the game. But my star of the week this week is Bruno Fernandes, who opened the scoring against Everton with a wonderful header that I never would have thought he was capable of. He then added a second, quite luckily, with his cross to Rashford, missing the front man and going into the far corner. And at the very end of the game, he capped it off with an assist for Edison Cavani to get his first goal in Man United colours. On top of that, he was running around the pitch like an absolute madman. He picked himself up a yellow, made a few extra fouls after that. He was getting into fights left, right and centre. Honestly, it was really entertaining from him. Now, to cap off the video, I'm going to speak about the big game of the week, which was, of course, Manchester City versus Liverpool in another must-win game. The game was summed up by 2 tweets that I sent out. The first one was at half-time, which said, "I wish every game of football was played like this." And then the second one was at full-time, which said, "I take that back." The first half was insane. There was chances on both sides and both teams were really going for the win. And then 2 completely different team mentalities came out for the second half and they played out the most boring draw that I've ever seen. It was so disappointing. Anyway guys, that's it for this one. Please like if you did enjoy and subscribe if you're not already for more footy chats. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next video.